Behind the head, on the fender. Just mixing it up here at NSORRA.
Everybody ready?
No.
No? Cecil?
I'm good.
You want another glove?
No.
Okay. Hands on your back. Yeah, sure.
Go get it. Go. Where is it? Go get it and give it to him.
Hands on your fenders.
Timing and scoring.
Hey, welcome back. This is Nova Scotia Off-Road Riders Association Round 5, and that in the upper left corner is my pass counter. And why the Struggle Bunny Slaying Rabbit pass counter? Well, I had a rough start and I was in a bit of a bad mood, so I brought out the Killer Rabbit. And why was I in a bad mood? Well, it wasn't only because of a bad start. I can weather that. It's just that when I showed up on site there and turned my truck off and got out, I could smell gas. And when I looked under the truck, it was pouring gas. Turns out one of the lines coming off the fuel pump had a crack in it or something. And, well, my truck doesn't even have 9,000 kilometers on it. Anyway, it's all fixed now, but I was not in a good mood. You know, because having a leaking fuel tank on my truck wasn't enough, I thought I might try and smash my radiator, but no luck. This is the first lap, and what I'm going to do is edit it down, and then I'll show you the full track on the second lap. Right now, though, still need to make some passes. Well, there's pass number 3, and you thought I forgot pass number 2. I didn't. The old Killer Rabbit, keeping track. This is pretty much wrapping up the first lap. I told you it was very condensed. We're going to come in timing and scoring here, and then I need to figure it out. I'm not exactly sure who's in front of me here, but we're going pretty close to the same pace for most of it. I could go a little faster, but I just can't affect a good pass. So, I'm going to have to bide my time. Oh man, right there to the left, that's the stupid truck. But you know what, that's fine, because I just came through timing and scoring and I was feeling pretty good about things, and then I saw the stupid truck, and now I'm fired up again. And while that fired up feeling isn't translating into fired up riding, I assure you I am a coiled piece of cooked spaghetti ready to launch forward like a spring under load. In all seriousness though, I learned from a race a few years ago where I was behind a rider that I felt I could go faster than, but I couldn't get past, and I was getting really frustrated. And in my frustration, I was getting aggressive and a bit shouty and trying to make aggressive moves to get past that rider. And after that race, I reflected on it and I was like, ah man, that's not why I race. I race for fun, and that wasn't fun. So as a consequence, I just decided to reset and stop racing for the rest of the year, which was a good call. Just reminded me that, hey, I'm doing this for fun and I'm doing it for skill building. Also, a lesson learned from that race was that if I want to make a pass, I need to stay close enough to the bike in front of me that I want to pass, so I can capitalize on opportunities like that. Kind of like how our government stays close to our wallet. Alright, I have a clear trail ahead of me, and I can now go slightly faster into the unknown. I'm in a good place, I'm in a good place on the bike. Emotionally, the tears are coming down my face because of my frustrations of not being able to effect a good pass, but that's all behind me now. I've never been here to South Alton and raced on this course or even ridden in this area, so I wasn't sure what to expect beyond some videos that I had looked at, which led me to believe that it's rough and choppy, and that was true. And that led me to choose the XCW, and that was a good choice. I'm kind of grateful that I wasn't right up front with my group, because I would have been eating a lot of dust for a while. And having it opened up a little bit here makes it a little more pleasant, but this was kind of hard on the lungs, and it was hard overall because I ripped my hose off on this lap for my hydration pack, and I rode the rest of this race with no water. Alright, Struggle Bunny Soul Counter gets another one. It was right around here where I actually lost my entire hose. I had hooked it on a tree and it was flopping around because it had pulled loose of the pack itself. And somewhere around here it dropped off. And I did actually go back after the race and found it sitting on the side of the trail, so that's good. But I guess, you know, truck leaking fuel and not smashing my radiator, I had to come up with something else, and I guess dehydrating myself was the next best thing. Little tip of the hat here for helping me with the pass, but the soul counter still needs to be fed.
Definitely got the right bike. This is rugged in here. My arms are bashed up already. I gotta relax them. So rough in here.
It's a pretty hot day, and I've run out of riding angry at this point. I'm just a little concerned that I don't have any water and wondering if I'm going to be able to endure for another 3 laps.
Keep my elbows up.
Yeah, that's right. Like the Carney government, I gotta keep my elbows up. Or is it down? I don't know. Just doing the chicken dance at this point. I think I said I did 5 laps, and I did, and it was taking me around 20 minutes and change to do a lap, so obviously I've cut this one down a little bit, although I did say I was going to show a full lap. Nobody wants to see me riding around by myself like this. It's not very good video, and so I fill it up with my incessant chatter, like this. I think this is the beginning of what was called the rock garden, although there was an extension to this. This is just the first little part, and then it gets a little rougher and then a little rougher again. And it's hard to see in the video, but there are definitely some toe catchers in there. Hey, here's the whole gang. That was Nick, and just up here is going to be Nick's daughter, then my wife, and then Melissa, and behind that. Well, that's nice. Everybody out cheering, and they found a spot where at least I didn't make too many mistakes. Right, and I think this is the final section of the rock garden. I don't know. It's all a bit of a wash in my mind. Hey, Brennan. Brennan didn't race today. He was taking a vacation shortly after this, but he did lend his bike to Melissa, and Melissa powered that 350 through all of this terrain, which must have been pretty taxing. Nope, gotta feed the soul counter. I know that if I let this video play out for the entire 5 laps, which I don't have on video anyway, but if I did, the soul counter would click over backwards at some point, or I'd lose a few anyway, for sure. Not all of them, but a few. But, because this is my video and I'm the main character, I'm not going to show any of that. I think this is rock garden number 4, which, when I had asked about the course, I was told there is a rock garden. So, I think I'm going to have to get better sources of intelligence. That's okay. You get into this stuff and I can generally get through without too much trouble. At least I can keep moving. And this gives me the opportunity to catch up to Cecil, right here in front of me. I do know that Cecil's in my class at this point. I just have no idea where we are sitting overall. But it is likely at this point we were battling for second place in our class. But it's not going to be a whole lot of a battle here. Cecil's going to just outpace me, and he's going to take second. And happily for me, I do podium and I take third. And that's, again, probably because JD overheated his bike. It's those little mistakes like that where you do a bad line choice and you lose a couple seconds. Multiply that by 100 corners, that's a lot of time. It's in this rough stuff where I had a bit more of an opportunity to stay close to Cecil, and had I been able to get by him, I might have been able to hold it. I doubt it, because I think in the open he's going to be much faster. It's probable at this point that I'm getting pretty thirsty, just as I am right now, but I can reach for my little glass of whiskey here. Cheers. In the video though, I didn't have any water because I'd ripped my water hose off, and it's going to be a struggle to push too hard here. Again, in the back of my mind, far back of my mind, because right now I'm dog in chase mode, but in the far back of my mind I'm thinking, am I going to be able to endure without water? And of course I am, and I knew that at the time. You just kind of start meting out your energy accordingly, because you want to finish, and I'm worried about cramps, which I do end up getting some hand cramps and some leg cramps. That's just what it is. Suck it up, princess. Little tip of the hat, no soul counter, because that is one of the race sweeps, making sure that we make the turn. And I think it's in a subsequent lap that tape is gone and there's no one there. And so both Cecil and I ride through it. In fact, he's riding back towards me when I catch up to him. And had I made the connection in my head, I would have immediately made my turn and probably gotten out in front of him, but not for long. Despite my mewling about not having water, I know I'm going to make it to the end of the race. It's just what kind of condition I'm going to be in to get there, and how fast am I going to be able to keep going. As it is, even without the water, I pretty much keep this pace up for all my laps. There's maybe a minute variance between my fast and my slow lap, which I'm okay with. I do like to think, though, I might have been a little bit faster if I had water, or a beer, or skill. For this lap and the next, I think I'm able to stay pretty close to Cecil, but I just can't reel him in, and there is zero chance I'm going to make a pass on any of the open area because he is faster there. Where I'm able to close up a bit is when it gets rough. At this point though, I have no idea where we sit in the overall pack as far as where we rank in the class, but it turns out we're probably battling for second place for most of this. And had I known that, I probably would have dug a little deeper and pushed a little harder, which, there's a lesson learned. You don't know where you are, and always dig a little deeper and go a little harder, but don't take the unnecessary risks. We all got to go to work on Monday, and this is just for fun. A little shoulder check from Cecil there, and then he dusts me out a little bit. Nope, he's just trying to turn on the jets and open up some space. It is hard to ride confidently into a dust cloud when you can't see what your front tires are running over, especially your front tire. If you hit a rock that's of substantial size, you can get jogged off the trail pretty hard, and there are some good rocks in here. Well, it's getting close to that part in the video where I just stop talking and let the video play out. This is the end of the race season. This was the Nova Scotia Off-Road Riders Association's round 5 of their 5-round series, and it's the only race that I did this year in the series. I'm looking forward to next year, and I'll try and make it out to most of the races, but there's a couple other things I want to get done next year too. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.